All right. With that said, we got a great call lineup. This man, gosh, is with us the whole month. And as you saw the flyer, it says what? Faith, family, and what? Freedom season. It's a season of freedom. He's with us the whole month of February. Today is the last day of February for us on this call, but we thank him for being on this. I tell you what, he's been an instrumental part of my life. He's one like I keep talking about. He has the best promotion SVP I've ever seen. I mean, it's not every day. Last week, matter of fact, one of his dear friends that were on the stage with him was his birthday. Who am I talking about? Yeah, Les Brown's birthday was February the 17th, and he had Les Brown on stage with him. And Marvin Sapp brought the house down. Oh my God! If you guys didn't see that promotion, go back online and go Google it. Mr. Byron Nelson's SVP promotion. It was amazing. And without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, the man we all come to hear today on the call. Without further ado, let's get him on the call right now, Mr. Byron Nelson.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Fantastic. If I'd be any better, I'd be you.
How is everybody doing here? Let's see here. How are we doing? Oh, we got a full house. We've been going nonstop, huh? Awesome. I'll jump right in the water. The one thing, I'm just going to go through bullet points because it's a lot to unpack of what I want to share. But it's really about just running a business more than anything else. What is the number one thing that you can get great at if you're brand new? Or what's the number one thing that you actually teach a person? And we won't do multiple choice. I'm going to share with you the most powerful thing you can do is I want you to write it out the way I'm saying it. It's authentically edify. And a lot of people miss that because when new people come in, I'm so blessed to be on this call because of Mr. Al Thomas. This is a man who has made a significant amount of money, more money than most people ever make on the planet Earth for 3 lifetimes. I didn't say he's making millions. I didn't say that he made it in ACN. I'm telling you, this man is a legend, iconic myth. I could go further into that. Just alone, him being a Black man, what he's done more than 99.9% of every human. I could go more into that of what he's had to do as a father, as a parent, just as a man. I mean, I could go down his whole resume. But bottom line is, I need you, Patricia, or I need you, Lance, or I need you, Kenny. I need you to hear what he has to say. I need you to have a 2-minute conversation with him. But I need to forewarn you, if you are not serious about changing your life, your income, and your address, I don't want to put you on the phone with him to embarrass me. Now, notice that edification and where I'm sharing this man is filled with love. He makes a significant amount of money. He's one of the most extraordinary human beings I've ever met on the planet Earth to love on people, care about people, share and change lives. He knows more than most people on the planet. That's why he makes more than most people on the planet, because your income's in direct proportion with your knowledge base. Your income is in direct proportion to your knowledge base, which means if you want to make more, you're going to have to know something you don't know. He has changed more lives than anyone that I've known. And he does it unconditionally. He does it, seamlessly. Now, we could be sitting here talking, Victoria, about just a regular opportunity. But if you hear what I'm saying, it has nothing to do with opportunity. It has to do with who I'm introducing you to. So you may ask me, Ryan, why don't you just tell me about it? Because if you want to know about spirituality and I can introduce you to Gandhi, why the hell would you want to hear from me? And until you get an attitude, for those taking copious notes, an attitude about your business and jealously protect not the company, but the individual. And the underlying factor in every conversation, please write it down, is going to be value. See, when you have an attitude about your business, how many of you have actually approached somebody, piqued somebody, and they got an attitude with you like, okay, so what is it? All right, you send me some information. Hold it. I believe in you so much to take advantage of an opportunity. Let's just call it a stock called Tesla. And instead of me sending you the bank statements, I am lucky enough to put you directly on the phone with Elon Musk. Instead of me giving you my lay opinion, since I've only been in a day, 24 hours or 24 days or 24 months, I'm putting you on with Elon Musk. And if you still challenge me to share the information and you don't want to talk to Elon Musk, I'm going to tell you point blank, I don't even want you on my team. That's just stupid. I'm not going to call you stupid, but what you just said has to be one of the most stupid things I've ever heard in my life, that you don't want to hear directly from Elon Musk, a man that has changed thousands upon thousands of lives, that it makes more money than 99% of the people on the planet, that lives the most extraordinary life because of him blessing other people. So if we don't master that art right there, look, I have this woman by the name of Renata Krumer. I'm going to tell you, she might as well be Mother Teresa to me. And if you have I want you to imagine, how does Mother Teresa become Mother Teresa? Because she moves souls and spirits and sees what everybody else can't see. Her discernment to be able to change the world from a loving space. I'm putting you on the phone with Mother Teresa, reincarnated. And the reason why I'm putting you on the phone with this woman is because, Maria, you remind me so much of her, of how much heart you have. Now what I want you to write down is called relationship marketing. I'm now going to relate. You'd be amazed how many people put the person that they're on. They got this super bigwig or this grandiose type individual or this CEO or this bombshell or somebody in their own mind, their little small mind that is greater than them on a pedestal, and then go and say, Mrs. Driscoll, I got this amazing person and they did this and they're, oh my God, they just, everybody respects them and I just so need this person on my team. And if you could just talk to them and well, who are they? They're the president of the PTA. You freaking crackhead. That you don't understand that the person that you're edifying, it's not about ego. It's not about deification. It's that this person holds the keys to unlocking a comma in your bank account. And given the chance and the opportunity, they will go back, and Mrs. Driscoll or Mrs. Krumer or Mr. Thomas or Julian will come back. Mr. Lewis will say, maybe you don't understand. I know that you're best friends, Maria, with XYZ. You're good friends with Denise. So you may not have, I know that you trust her and that's why we're on the call and you have a lot of respect for her, but you don't know what this woman is up to and why I decided to work with her, because of the caliber person that you are. See, you're her sister, so you only see her in a certain vein. But what I've been able to see is something that is so amazing of what she wants to do for her family, which is why we're talking to you, Maria. See, an expert, a master, will take all the weight off of them and go back and edify the hell out of you. But too many times we aren't given the chance because either your ego is in place or your power has been taken. You take the power from us and give it to somebody else who's not even in the business, who hasn't even committed to anything, who's not even willing. They haven't even said they're going to be a customer. They haven't put $1 in your pocket. Now, in a certain period of time, I'm not a TV or a movie person or think too many people are attractive. I have a weird taste in women and always have, because I look way beyond a certain thing. But if you had to take it on surface value, I would say Halle Berry is definitely one of the top 10. She's not number one, but she's one of the top 10 because of her sex appeal and she knows how to carry it in her posture and her character. You know, it's not just the body. She knows how to, I mean, she's an artist with what she does. But I promise you, on everything that God loves, if I was working this business with Mrs. Krumer or with Al Thomas or with Mrs. Driscoll or any other leader that you have, look, Al Thomas is more fine than Halle Berry to me, because Halle Berry is not trying to put $1 in my pocket. But Al Thomas is. That's a sexy mother. That's what, Prince would say. He's sexy as all hell to me. Cute, sexy, whatever you want to put on it. He's all that in a bag of Lay's and can't just have one. So until you master the art of edification, not edify, edify. Now, many of you are seasoned and been around for a while. And the key I would ask you is, if you don't have a team over double digits, meaning 10 people, in 90 days, then you might as well act like you know nothing. Let me put it even more clear. If you don't have 10 people on this call, then what you're doing doesn't work. And the things you have been doing are completely incorrect. That's the nicest way I can put it. Because a leader that calls himself a leader that doesn't have anybody following them is just taking a long walk. Please write it down. A leader who calls himself a leader who has nobody who will follow them is just taking a long walk. And there are ETLs, there are RDs, RCs, VIPs, whatever title you have. Your title means nothing to me. And guess what? To the rest of the world, your title means nothing. I know broke doctors, broke esquires, broke politicians, people that got titles all over the world that make no money. I know broke TCs, RDs, ETLs. Heck, I know broke RVPs. I don't know any broke SVPs, but I do know broke everything else. So the title, until you bury that title and you understand how to, or take the time to learn how to build a business, not a title. I will say that again. Learn how to build a business, not a title. I get the greatest high off of human equity. What do I mean by that? How valuable are you? Now, in your head, you may say, I'm priceless. If I ask you, how much are you worth? How much money, if I wrote a check, should I write for you? What is your life worth? And most should say or think priceless. But let's keep it in reality. The reality is this. Go get your 1099 or your W-2 from last year. W-2 stands for waiting to excel. Number one, if you have a W-2, you definitely have a confidence problem. Unless you're doing something that you just so love that you do it for free. There's a very, 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 very small percentage of those people on this planet that if you didn't get paid $1 on your job, that you would still be doing what you're doing at the extent that you're doing. So this space is for people who sign up for the course called Unemployable. You see Mr. Al Thomas raise his hand? I'm sure if Jocelyn came off, she would. You'll see we're not. We're unemployed. You can't pay me enough to work. There's not $1 amount. I promise you. And only while you're still incarcerated can you be bought? If you're making $200,000 a year, as some do, and someone offered you 400,000, you jump. 500, you jump. Because the next part of that, of once and while you're learning and mastering the art of edification, you need to master the art of a story. And you need to know your expert's story. They don't have to be your upline. It could be me. You don't have to know my, it doesn't have to be, it could be Renata. It could be Al. We take this group, Joss, and this group of individuals takes on more orphans than anybody else in the company. I promise you on everything that God loves. The 4 vice presidents and SVPs combined in here take on more orphans in the last decade than any other RVPs and SVPs in the company. Anybody. I'll say that publicly. I'll say it recorded. You can take it to Greg and Robert. There's nobody else in the company other than the 4 people here that have taken on more orphans than anybody else on the planet Earth in the last 10 years. So when you understand the story of the employed versus the unemployed, then you start to understand the little baby elephant. See, there's not a circumstance that you can bring up to me or an excuse you can bring up to me that I don't have a story for. See, if I ask most of you, it's like, I don't have any money. You're like, well, how do you combat that? You go back and say, well, go find the money, or let's figure out how to, or you know what, money's not the issue. Well, talk to this person. You need to have a story. Someone says, I can't get any customers. You need to have a story. I did a paid event this morning globally. And one of the questions was asked, what do you regret? If you had to start all over, what are some of your biggest regrets? I have no regrets. I live with no regrets except for one. I wish I listened to my father more. But aside from that, I have no regrets. And I tell you, I've met the devil. I've been in hell more than once with my life on the line and other people's lives on the line and having to walk a fine line and look death and life in the face. Because there's nobody that achieves massive success that has not gone through hell. There's not one person, I get a chill just even saying that. Authentically, I'm getting a chill where I don't want to cry. There's not one person that attains massive success without going through hell. I don't care if it was a stillborn. I don't care if it was a foreclosure. I don't care if it was a cheating wife or husband. I don't care if it was a death, a child, a loss. We've all had everything. COVID, story after story. And so many people, are still living Groundhog's Day in that story because they haven't learned, one, gratitude, and two, how to utilize that as fuel that was natural God fuel to make you empowered because you're still here. You don't even know how freaking powerful you are. And you keep playing small. How do you play small when you were built to be a giant? You wouldn't be on this call unless you were built to be a giant. You can't be attracted to my conversation unless you were built. It's in your DNA. You have to physically put yourself in harm's way to die. Now, there's a small percentage that have chronic this, that, and the other, passed on, hereditary, whatever. But 90% of the population dies because of the choices they made. whether they ate, smoked, crack, heroin, whatever they did. You literally have to put yourself in the front of a Mac 10 truck. Your body naturally will fight to live. It's a born fighter. You have to do something over a long period of time, very treacherous to yourself, to kill yourself. So where you acquire the mindset to live a subpar or mediocre life, or I can't, or I'm doing my best, all these excuses that only satisfy you, and you can write that down. Excuses only satisfy the person that makes them. Excuses only satisfy the person that makes them. If you're satisfied, so am I. I couldn't make it on the call. If you're satisfied, so am I. You know, I did my best. Great. Go back to your job. Go back to struggling. Go back to scarcity thinking. But we're the only animal on this planet that's been given the power of choice. My end result of this call is to give you permission to be freaking amazing, extraordinary. Whether you have a huge organization or no organization, you know how you get big in this business? You know how you make a lot of money in any business? Every day you wake up, you act like nobody's on your team. It's the hardest thing to do when you've had some success. But if you really want to make the greatest dent in your life, not just in this business, in your life, wake up every day as if you're starting from scratch. Nobody exists. I'm always in a fight. I said this the other day. I don't know what call I was on. I'm always in a fight because I'm always comparing myself, and you know, I'm pissed off at the person I'm comparing myself to, and I actually wake up and curse him out because he's in the mirror. My conversation daily is, excuse my language, ladies and gentlemen, you ain't shit, I'm better than you. Whatever you did yesterday, I'm gonna do better than you did. Every freaking day. This day started for me, it hasn't ended. I haven't slept. Some of you got sleep and you're still tired. I haven't been to bed. Do I even look like I'm tired? I haven't even started. This is my coffee hour. I'm on my 4th call with a public forum. I'm on my 20th call for the day because I started at 12 in Australia, which is 14 hours. Then I did 10, 2 hours after that in London. Maybe you're getting the gist of this. You know how 7-Eleven became 7-Eleven? It decided to open up hours when everybody else was closed to beat the market. All you gotta do is go look at The Pursuit of Happiness and understand when Will was working when everybody else was taking lunch. Will was working when nobody was even in the office at 6, 7 in the morning. When everybody else came in at 7, he was there at 5. Will was working when everybody left at 5, he was still there an extra 2 hours. He figured out the only way I can catch up with the competition is to work longer than everybody else and compress it. Kobe learned this. Kobe's like, if I work harder and more hours than anybody else, he would play a full 2 hours. He would be drenched in sweat before every professional game. He would play a full 2 hours, all out harder than anybody else. And others would come in like, what are you doing? Why are you soaked? Oh, I'm ready for the second half. They're just getting ready for practice, just getting ready for the game. See, that's where that DNA of success comes in, when you have that, I call it OG, an obsessed gene. I'm obsessed with where my life is going to be. I will create more success for more people in 3 years than I have in the last 30. I never ask how. If you meet anybody that's extraordinary and great, they never ask how. You know why 90% fail? They want the how before they made a decision. You know how the 10% end up great? They make a decision and the how shows up. The top 5%, they find a belief, then make a decision, and the how shows up. The top 10%, they just make a decision. But the top 3 to 5 percentile people, they have a belief that is unshakable, that is untouchable. They don't care how many naysayers there are. Their belief, and every day they believe even more. Even more, they live in a word called faith, that which you can't see. I don't need to see it. I already know that I'm a gold medalist. I already know that I'm Muhammad Ali. I already know that I'm going to be Serena. I already know nobody can beat me. The only one who can beat me is me. The person that wins the game is the person that has the belief. That's the top 3 to 5%. I already knew. There is no, if you talk to me, there's not a person that met me in I'm telling on myself, there's not a person that met me in 1995 when I started this business that ever doubted I would be the #1 RVP in this company. There's not a person when they created SVP that ever doubted that I would be an SVP. Nobody could ever question, because the most dangerous person on the planet is the person with the made-up mind. I made up my mind before I started. I didn't start and then make up my mind. What's my goal in this conversation? That if I get 3 or 4 of you to push reset, to get this information of understanding a belief system, a decision, and actions, BDA, what's your belief system? Many of you need to call your list again. That list is the blueprint, and it needs to expand. Many of you have the same names that have been on that same list for the past 3 months, 6 months. Some of you haven't even made a list in the last 6 months. You got the same people. You're courting the same every week. So how are your prospects? I got this one person on the fence. That person went on the fence. They left a long time ago. Your ass is still at the fence. Well, they're interested. Interested in what? Interested in lying to you some more. They're going to get on next week. That's not the person. That's not the mentality. See, there's a switch that has to go off on you that pisses you off, that puts you in a state that you need a heart transplant. And if you don't get this heart transplant within the next 30 days, and you had a conversation with God, and he told you the heart exists, you just have to figure out the one who has the heart. And some of you guys are talking to one person a day, one every 2 days, one every 3 days. No wonder why you're dead after 30 days. If God said you can live, I guarantee you that there's a heart that exists for you to live another 40 years or you die in 30. I just can't tell you who it is. I could tell you they're in your city. I could tell you they're in your phone book. I could tell you someone you know knows who they are. You may not even know them directly, but someone you know knows who they are. Do you have a heart? What's your blood type? Do you have a heart? Do you know somebody else that has a heart? Do you know somebody else who has a heart? What's your blood type? I'd be talking. That's when that OG kicks in, that obsessive gene, and you don't care about the response because you need to live. Some of you are like, well, I was on the call this morning. I was on the call this afternoon. I go to every training. I'm going to Oklahoma. I got a chance to rub elbows with Mr. Thomas, and I hang out with Renata and Jocelyn took me over here to Montana, and I know all the people, and you even talk like you know what you're talking about, and you haven't put in over like 5-10 trainers in the last 90 days. At whatever title you're in. Because you aren't looking for a heart. You're looking for collaborators. You're looking for hangout partners. You're looking for people that will understand you, who can relate to where you are. So you get to know everybody. And your needle never moves. I got 10 more minutes. Is this moving anybody? Nod your head if this is helping anybody. I just need to know. Okay. Because I'm just straight black coffee this morning. There's no cream, no sugar, there's no latte, there's no espresso machine. It's just straight caffeine. You need to wake up. Because once you really find you, then there's no way you could say, I was on this call or I know that caller. The key to this is duplication. The one who has the fastest copying machine wins. What? How many people are copying you? How many people? Here's not even how many people are copying you. How many people are better than you? You might even lead with that question. I'm looking for somebody to be better than me. And as far as I know, I'm the best there is. You know how quickly you eliminate a whole lot of people you shouldn't be talking to? Because only the people that never want to rise to the occasion will look at you as arrogant and look at you as egotistical. Because if they let you further, hold it, what was the statement I just said? I'm looking for somebody who will be better than me, and I haven't met anybody that's as good as me, because I'm the best version of me that there is. But I'm looking to make somebody better than me. But first, you have to believe you're the best version of you before you can compete and allow me. See, that in that competing is love. The only way you can grow is to compete with yourself to be the best version of you. You guys are talking about gigawatts, fiber optics, and telecom. 99% of people that ever get in my business, no matter what I do on the planet Earth, don't even know what they got into. Because my job is to reach their soul. I am a soul catcher. So are you, unless you don't have one. You got to stop learning to talk at people and talk into people. You might want to write that down. You got to learn how to not talk at people and talk into people. See, every human being has a pilot light. They're an oven. And you guys keep putting things in the oven without even turning it on. It doesn't even get to 200, 300, 400 Fahrenheit. It needs to be a broil. You need to be able to turn that fire on. You'll know when you turn the fire on because they will go AWOL and they will be pissed off that they can't reach you because they got so much work going on, so much business going on that you don't, it's like, I can't wait on you anymore. I got to do it myself. I got to do it myself. I got to that point like in the first 2 weeks of that I started this business. I can't wait on anybody else. I waited. I was like, okay, edify. I continued to edify, but God bless the child that has it on. I was like, I got to figure out how to do this myself. There's no way I'm gonna be able to make money waiting on somebody else to do my presentations. I hope you guys are getting this because I need you to understand something. We say participate in your own rescue, and what that means is, and I really want you guys to get this lesson, until you're doing all the work and all the presentations and all the training, I'm sorry to tell you, yes, this is one of those moments where why the founders would be scared to put me on stage, because I'm gonna tell the truth. They don't know what's gonna come out of my mouth, and this will scare most people because we're used to telling people we're gonna do all the heavy lifting, we're gonna do the presentations and training. All you gotta do is put them in front of us. But this is a leadership call, so I feel comfortable sharing with you. If you aren't doing the presentations and launching reps, you will be broke until eternity. You will never make any money. until you're presenting, until you're convicted, committed, sold out, until you are talking to people and don't give a damn how they respond because you are interviewing for a superstar. You got 5, 6, 7 people on your team, who cares? They'll be dead in a week. They'll just stick around for a month and lie to you. You're interviewing for 3 minimum, 4 preferably, 6 long-term lifetime superstars. And your conversation, your job is to get really ugly and dirty and get all the mold and get all of the charcoal all over your face and reach deep into that oven and find that pilot and put some lighter fluid on it and turn that shit on broil. And turn somebody's soul on and give them life. And you'll know, it doesn't matter if they were a taxi driver, an Uber driver, a bus driver, a homeless person, a doctor, an attorney. You sit up there trying to target market greatness. Greatness is a sleeping giant in a person who is dissatisfied, and it doesn't matter where they come from. The very person that you don't talk to or you don't think can win will be the person that will blow up on you and make you rich. But your short-sightedness, your blindedness, your second guessing, you trying to pick who should and who shouldn't be, who you're going to talk to. Well, how do I get around that? Fall in love with developing your craft and become a master at your craft by talking to everybody. And the right person will they'll show their ass. They will find you. You don't have to find them. Stop looking for them. Some people, if you talk to enough people, you'll find them in 2 days. Some will be 7 days. Some will be 4 months. It's not predicated on the persons you're talking to. You're like, I got a bunch of duds on my team. You're a freaking dud. You don't have duds on your team. You're the dud. You're the M80 that won't even explode, that goes, you light it on the 4th of July. You're the dud. Because, I mean, we talk about it in relationships. Somebody else's trash is somebody else's gold. It's how you approach each person and get into the soul of somebody else. And you just put a little lighter fluid on them. And you'd be amazed at how extraordinary it is when you believe in somebody who didn't believe in themselves. You're looking for A-types and blow-ups and people that have the title and people that got sphere of influence and people that they already have. All you're going to do is be able to just chase them around the block. If they're smart, they'll stick around. At some point, they might explode for you, but you'll go broke doing that. There's somebody that you know right now that is living between 2 walls that needs a trend. They need this more than air itself. And all you have to do is ask the right question. You don't have to spend hour conversations, 30 minutes on a conversation. It's just talking to enough people to be able to say, I have no problem. I fell in love with the word no. There's a book called Go for No. You need to pick that book up. Go for No. Let me see if I pull it up so you guys. It's one of my favorite books on the planet Earth when it comes to what we do. Favorite books. Here it is, right here. Bree, can I actually have a... Can I share?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Go get this book. Go for No. It's by Richard Fenton. Go get, it's my man. It was a lifesaver. A lifesaver. You get it on audio, you get it on paperback, get it on Kindle. I suggest you guys get it on every medium you can. Don't just get one, get them all. When you're in the car, listen to it. When you're still, read it. When you're getting your hair done, ladies, have it on your Kindle. I don't care how you do it. Go for no. I embrace every no because it's just going to get you. I am so excited when a person says no. I was like, thank you for saving me so much time. Because see, you only have 3 spectrums. You have 10% that are hell no's, 10% that are hell yeses, and 80% that are in between. And what we do is we spend all of our time on the 80% on the in-betweens. Hell no. You should be spending 80% on only the hell yeses. And when I say hell yeses, I'm not talking about the person that says, hell yes, I'm in the business. The one who shows up with actions, BDA. They believe in themselves. They made a decision and actions. They fail forward. They love failing because that's the only way you figure out how to do something. So long as one of these BPs are doing a presentation for you, you'll never make no money because you aren't doing any actions. What are you doing? Passing them over, hoping that they're going to get you rich? If I got to build a leader for you, I'm going to ask you for half of your check. Because you only did 50% of it. You brought the person to the table. I did the action. I should get 70%. I'm thinking about it 80. Because all you do is sitting in the audience with a round of applause. Excited while I do all the work. When they have questions, they're going to come to me. When they have people, they're going to come to me. When they want to get more customers, they're going to come to me. When they're doubtful, they're going to come to me. When they're about to quit, they're going to come to me. Because you didn't take full responsibility of your life. I didn't say of your business. It is a decision. Let me wrap this up. I actually will do a Q&A if Mr. Thomas will allow me. I mean, this is just, so I didn't even get into the meat because this is so important. This is so critical. You can by default make some money and hit titles by just mastery of edification. You can get all the way to RD. I know some people got into RVP just off the mastery of edification, but you can't keep it and expand it or truly witness exponential growth until you take, yes, I can, Dave, I'll be on the call at 6. Until you take full responsibility of your life and your business. See, let me close on this. We say this is a self-development with an incredible compensation plan. I honest to God will tell you, because I had somebody ask me this the other day, why are you still in ACN? Besides, I make a significant amount of money. But I can honestly tell you, if I knew what I knew right now, and I knew I wasn't going to get paid $1 for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, honest to God, if I knew what I knew today, I would gladly jump in and be in this and build this thing like nobody's business ever for the skill set that I've been blessed to develop through this process. There is no other school on the planet Earth like University ACN. There is no other university that gives you the community, the support, the leadership, the training, and the teaching capabilities that this school gives you. I have a young man that I talk to, and 1 or 2 of you know what I'm talking about, that literally I trained 25 years ago. He literally has on his wall a Matrix poster. He literally has on his, he showed up to talk to me with the Morpheus shirt on. And he's doing, in less than 2 years now, culminating all the knowledge, $4.3 million per month in under 24 months. That I personally trained. I have another young man. I got him at 20. He's 27. He just taught at Eric Worre School, came through this university, took my knowledge, and is doing over $4 million a year at 27 years old. Just bought a 15,000 square foot home in Miami on the water with his boat. Just off of what I just shared with you, as far as just master, if you go back and listen to this recording, there's way too much in it for you to unpack than just listening to it one time. Duplication, edification, take ownership of your business, presenting, obsessive gene. I can go down the list because, and I this is just scratching the surface. I'm upset this is the end of the month, and apologize to Mr. Thomas and to each one of you for letting you down last Friday of not being on the call. I am on every Wednesday with Renata, if you guys want to join, that I'm doing a series on this topic every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I saw many of you on there, but if you need it, you can get in touch with Bree. He'll give you all the information, or any of Mr. Thomas or any of the other leaders every Wednesday night. Because me, Jocelyn, Renata, Al, we aren't hoarding the information. It's not about our team. Our team is University ACN. If you win, we win. So even in you missing, and this being the end of the month and me not coming back until April, I will be on through all of March and the rest of this month, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Eastern Standard Time. And you can get the link. But I'll be on tonight at happy hour. I'm going to wrap up because if I hit another gear, we'll be here for another 3 hours, because that's just a warm up. Because I want to make sure that you get some coffee this morning, because we're in February, about to hit March. And let me tell you something, you guys deserve to win. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop acting. Take home that nobody's in your team right now. Shut up talking about what you think you know, because you can't talk and do at the same time. If you're doing, you don't have time to talk about it. You don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to even do any trainings. I'm doing too much right now. If you're doing, you don't want to talk. If you're talking, you ain't doing shit. You're just filling your own head and ego and somebody else with some bullshit. Because when you're doing, the world can see it. It's like, hey, Lourdes, what are you doing? Manny, what are you doing? Celia, what just happened? They just called me up to do another testimonial. I don't even know if I have time. I got to get somebody else qualified. Hey, I like to do that call for you, but I got to get to the bank before it closes. I just got another residual check. I like to, but I got to go. I just helped somebody hit TC. They just hit 5 digits. I got to get a limo and get them. I'm going to celebrate them walking off their job. I don't know if I have time to get on the call, because I'm going to celebrate somebody else's life that I helped have success. If you're doing, you ain't got time. I don't have time. I'll be in a happier mood if that makes you any better. I'm not in a mad mood. I'm really, this is the kind Byron Nelson right today. I mean, it really is. It just is. I mean, I still have jokes. I have jokes for you guys tonight. Okay, 6 p.m. Mr. Thomas, I'm gonna turn it over to you. I'm complete.